Hey Clear Lake peeps, Ross England here with Clear Lake Guide Service with your fishing report for April 22nd, 2021. And I'm just going to start out with telling you, today is one day that I don't have to gripe about the wind. It has been gorgeous today. I apologize, I'm shooting this video next to Highway 20. It's our last stop of the day, but it's just been a gorgeous day. So we fished Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. Kevin is up here attempting to sight fish. He's doing all kinds of hieroglyphics and gestures for fish that he sees sitting. We've been trying to do it for 2.5 days, and I'll tell you, it's just been brutal, at least for me. We just are having a hard time finding anywhere that the water's clear enough to be able to see out in 6 to 8 feet of water. There's a lot of areas that we can see 1 foot, 2 foot, maybe 3 foot, but at 3 foot we can't see it real clearly. So it's kind of been a little bit of a letdown. I mean, the good news is today's been beautiful. The previous 2 days the wind was just beating the living snot out of me. So let me jump into conditions. Conditions are lake level pretty much the same, stable, 1.1 foot. Any of you using the launch ramps in Lakeport, be careful. We lost another vehicle this week with a vehicle that slid into the, I believe it was the 3rd Street launch ramp, slid into the water. So, you know, that I'm aware of over the last number of years is probably the 4th or 5th vehicle that's gone under. And what happens is the lake's dropping slowly. There's a lot of algae on the ramps. If you back your vehicle down the launch ramp in reverse, it doesn't work out so good all the time. A lot of times you're better off just being in neutral and just coast down the launch ramp. So be careful of that. In the 4 cases I'm aware of, the vehicles were total losses. I mean, they were in up to their roof. So 1.1 is the lake level. Water temperature is running, we've seen anywhere from 61 to almost 67 over the last 3 days. So the water is definitely up to a level that these fish should be just going absolutely bonkers and bananas. And they may be, we just can't see them. So clarity, like I said before, some of the areas you get into, there's a lot of pollen in the water, and it's kind of giving it a yellowish look. And then in other places, there's already some algae growth that's starting, just little patches of it here and there. So for me, water clarity for this time of year, I'm just going to tell you, is poor. I wish it was a whole lot better. I love to sight fish, and it's just not here. I'm not saying that there aren't people catching fish, you know, sight fishing, or that we haven't. We've caught a few today, but it's not what it should be for the middle of April. So there's your conditions. Activities. I think there's an ABA permit pulled for this coming weekend, but I really don't know what the event is for. So just keep in mind that pretty much through the 1st of June, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 club tournaments going off on Saturday or Sunday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday, and we'll update you as far as any other formal tournaments that are going to happen in the upcoming weekend. So just, you know, it's going to be busy. It's not nearly as busy as it was last week with the tournament, but and you know what? We really haven't seen a whole lot of boats out here today. The 5th Street launch ramp was a little bit congested this morning, but those people disappeared. So we haven't really felt threatened anywhere, and we've been all over the place. We've fished a little bit up in the upper end of the lake. We actually went down to Redbud, or the Rattlesnake Arm today, looking for fish all the way to the end. Worked our way back up, and we winding up our day here after being halfway through the Redbud Arm this afternoon. So we're covering water like crazy, and part of that is we're looking for clear water to try to find fish. So there's the conditions, there's the activities. The fishing, you know, I had a really good day. I told you guys in the last report we had a 40 fish day. I think it was on Tuesday the previous week. I went back there to try to fish some of that, and there were 9 boats sitting on that stuff yesterday. So we have averaged, now keep in mind this report is based on the fact that, and Kevin is hooked up, this report is based on the fact that we have been trying to get a sight fishing gig going. So we're spending a bunch of time looking, way more time than we are fishing. So we've got 14 Monday, 14 yesterday. This one that Kevin has on right now is number 18 for today. I think our biggest fish over the last 3 days has been, each day we've had one fish that was right at 5 pounds, plus or minus. We're not putting them on the scales because we're letting them go pretty quick. Kevin, once you get that in, you can bring it back here and flash it at the camera just to prove that we're actually catching fish. So we're not catching a lot of monsters, but you know, there's just a lot of really good. Step in here, Kevin. Right there. Say, hi world.
Hey world.
So the fishing is what I'm going to call typical once these fish start spawning. And it's not easy to just run around and cast and catch fish. Our best bite over the last couple of days, most consistent bite, has probably been fishing docks, you know, with plastics. You know, our rip bait bite kind of fell apart. Don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened to it. The fish just moved. They went shallower. So.
That's interesting.
Oh, it is. Just grab another one down there. It's in this compartment right here. Excuse me for a moment.
I got it.
There you go. You got it. Those fish moved, so you know I was catching them out in 5.5 to 6 feet of water, and the waters just continue to get warmer, so they've just moved up. So our little arsenal has gotten smaller and smaller as the week has gone on, and we've done way better drop shotting than anything else. Part of the issue, we tried to throw shaky head a little bit, and a lot of the areas that we found fish in, the bottom is just too slimed up, and the shaky head just gets all balled up. So the good news, water temps look great. These fish should start moving up, as indicated by the fact we went to one area today where late this afternoon we looked at some floating docks, and I think we saw 5 fish suspended under those docks, and those were actually the first fish we've seen suspended in 3 days. So that's a good move. All this stuff is telling me that these fish are moving to the bank, or moving to wherever it is they're going to spawn. So we covered the activities, we covered the water conditions, we covered the fishing. Crappie, I've seen a number of people over the last couple of days. I know Ed Legan guided yesterday, and I think I was told that his 3 or 4 guys caught a total of, I think, 102 crappie yesterday. Ed's been the only guide that I know of who's actually consistently been taking crappie trips. So if any of you need his phone number or his contact information, just give me a message down below, and I'll make sure that you get it. I don't know what his availability is because we've been sending a lot of crappie trips to him. We watched a gentleman this afternoon just down in the rattlesnake arm, just sitting out in 10 to 15 feet of water, casting around docks in the shade, just throwing a little kind of spin crappie jig or something. We watched him catch 5 or 6 fish. He was doing really well. So there is a crappie bite. I will tell you that for as much time as I've spent in the shallows the last 3 days, we've only seen 2 crappie. So part of that is where I was seeing them, you just couldn't see bottom anymore. So I think that's going to be it for today. You know, if you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. And as always, if you have any questions or anything, don't be afraid to post them down below, because so far I've been able to answer everybody, and I'll continue to do that. So thanks, y'all. Have a good week, and we'll try to give you a little bit more aggressive fishing report maybe next week. Thanks.